After being gone for months, the boss, Sasha Banks, has finally returned to Monday Night Raw. Stick around as we cover her return. We'll also discuss what we'd like to see in her upcoming feuds.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to VGR Locked Down. I am your host, Double A Ron, along with my main man. Well, you know his name. What's up, bro?
Man, there's a whole lot going on, man. A lot of rumors, a lot of rumblings and everything. But I think there was just one thing you wanted to talk about today.
The boss! And I ain't talking about Rick Ross. Sasha Banks is back. It was perfect. I loved everything about the segment. Natalya, she's still crying for her daddy, which made me think of Mr. Boss Man.
Disrespectful.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I got respect for the dead, but I just started talking about the Boss Man when he was making fun of Big Show, like, my daddy, my daddy. I started thinking about that when she was going on and on. But anyway, Sasha Banks comes back. She says she would be so proud of you. And did she proceeds to punch her in the mouth, beats her down, hits her against the ring, hits her against the stairs. Then Becky Lynch comes out for the save. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, she's just going to run off, do the cowardly heel thing. She proceeds to fight with Becky Lynch. And let me not forget about the fact that her hair is blue now. Because if it ain't blue, it ain't true. Then, after she beats Becky down, hits her with a chair like 10 times. And then she kind of went off script from what I'm hearing. Picked her up by her hair and slapped the hell out of her. Which you could tell she ain't appreciate. Beat her down some more. And all while getting... Well, it was kind of weird. They were cheering when she beat up the girl who was crying about her daddy. But the crazy Irish girl, they kind of booed Sasha Banks for beating her down. Why do you think that is?
Why they booed her beating down Becky Lynch?
Yeah, and not Natalya.
Because unfortunately, they've made the... I'm going to call it the Big Show mistake with Natalya. Because it seems like every other month, Natalya keeps flip-flopping back and forth between heel face, heel face, heel face. So it's at a point where, honestly, nobody cares. In theory, when this promo happened, Natalya was still a heel. So, I mean, after that match, outside of talking about how she missed her dad, a bad guy can miss their dad.
That's true.
She's done nothing to sway the fans' opinion of her. So why wouldn't she? Why would the fans not boo her getting beat down? They're gonna boo because it's a heel getting a beating that they deserve. Becky Lynch, the man, is a clear face. She came out there as a face would to try to save Natalya.
The heel.
The heel. So, them booing Sasha, beating down Becky Lynch, is what should happen. Especially if they want Natalya. If they want Sasha Banks to be the heel in this exchange.
Are you excited about the feud?
Yes, I am actually. But most of it is due to the fact that the way they have built up Becky Lynch, outside of doing the usual cop out of we're going to do a triple threat or a multi-person match to allow somebody to actually get the belt off of Becky Lynch. Unfortunately, they're in a corner where outside of Charlotte, and nobody wants that, they really didn't have a woman on Raw that could believably beat the man. And at least the way that they debuted Sasha Banks, especially since she's been away for a while, and it's Sasha Banks. She has some name value to her. She is the only reasonable name that could do it.
Well, I'm hoping that in this feud, Sasha Banks comes out with the win in the feud. And I hope that the next opponent for Sasha Banks is Bayley for the title. I'd be really interested, and hopefully they execute this feud correctly, because I have no idea what they did the first time around.
That's not even going to happen. Part of it, I think, is we'll have to talk about it another time. But when Fox finally moves, I mean, about to say Fox. When SmackDown finally moves over to Fox, at least the way it's sounding, the whole wild card rule should be coming to an end, and they should be going back to more of a roster exclusive brands.
Well, what if they put Sasha Banks as a free agent over, on Raw? I mean, on SmackDown.
Well, I mean, if you wanted Sasha Banks to come out with the win, that means she's going to walk away with the women's title, which is going to firmly tie her to Monday Night Raw.
Oh, true. So, okay, well, like I said, I'll be cool with this feud going on for 3 to 4 months, just as long as it's entertaining. As long as they do something, they add something to it and make it seem personal. They obviously been working with each other for years. They have a lot of backstory, and they kind of seem like a match made in heaven. Like, they seem like they would have great chemistry. So I hope this goes in a way that it's supposed to go. And you are 100% correct. Like, there was nobody else she could fight. And WWE is really smart for not releasing Sasha, but hopefully they do whatever they can to make her happy.
I mean, they also did ruin their one opportunity to have somebody that could take the belt off of her, and that was the poor handling of Lacey Evans. I'm like,
I never was impressed with her.
I wasn't impressed either, but I mean, going into WrestleMania, the plans was when Ronda Rousey stepped away from the ring, they wanted to have at least 3 top female superstars, and that was going to be Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Lacey Evans. But the way that whole entire feud went, and it's part of one of the things where I said that they rushed Lacey Evans entirely too quick. In theory, it was entirely too soon to put the women's title on her. And then linking her up with Baron Corbin ruined her. And
that
yet you can
everybody.
see, after that feud was over with, you really haven't seen Baron Corbin or Lacey Evans on Raw or SmackDown or anywhere. I was shocked to hear that Baron Corbin was even going to be in the King of the Ring.
I hope he doesn't win it. I'm not a fan of him. I'm so sorry.
But you don't want King Baron?
Absolutely not.
But I mean, so back to Sasha Banks. So, who would you like to see her feud with after the Becky Lynch feud? I know you have your pipe dreams of Bayley, but at least as it stands, if things go the way that they said it's going to go, she's going to be on SmackDown and Bayley's going to be on Raw.
I mean, to be honest with you, Steven, it all depends on how they want to book the females there. Like, I've seen some Amber Moon stuff on NXT.
Amber.
What did I say?
Amber.
I said Amber.
Said Amber.
No, I said Amber. I have an accent, all right? But anyways, I would love to see them two go against each other, but the way they booked her recently, which is hot, cold, I don't know how good it would be. But if they book her consistently to go against Sasha Banks, I think that'd be really good. Asuka, even though she's on another brand, I think if they booked her correctly, that'd be fun.
So pretty much what you're saying is you really want Sasha Banks to go to SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in the opponents. What opponents on Raw that are good outside of Becky Lynch? I wouldn't want to see her versus Natalya. Who else
I think that's honestly the problem that they've written themselves into on Raw.
Yeah,
I honestly feel like they need to do I would say a roster refresh, but typically that means firing some people. I think they just need to bring up they need to bring up a lot more women from NXT altogether. Probably. Like, despite the fact that they have this thing of the women's wrestling revolution, they've still kept the women's division at that small size. And honestly, they typically can only come up with contenders for the belts, not even the tag team belts, because they I felt like they forgot about that. And I mean, it kind of justifies why Sasha and Bayley were a little upset that they lost the belts at Mania. But then again, based on what I've seen for how they use the women's title for the tag team division, they should be happy.
Yeah, that's a good move. I mean, but here's the thing. Yeah, you have the tag teams, most of which I wouldn't want to see feud with Sasha Banks.
Actually, I'd be interested in the Lacey Evans feud. I mean, that's still the one thing where I would say maybe they should have pulled the trigger on Lacey Evans is every opponent is fresh.
who will be the face in that feud?
It depends on
It would be
how they play it
Sasha
out.
Banks.
Like I feel like if they can keep Sasha Banks as a strong heel, which is easy to do, Lacey Evans with her background can make a good face as well.
I don't.
You play up the military background and everything else, and you can get the fans to love her.
When you cater off the military, that old stuff does not. That's why there is not too many gimmicks like that.
No, I'm not saying go all Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah,
or,
that's what you're playing
or Jim Duggan or anything like that. But she could be almost not the man, but the defender. Essentially, you have Sasha Banks beating somebody down. Or hell, you have Sasha Banks after she defeats Becky Lynch, beating her down in a heinous way, and you have Lacey Evans run out saving her, and she might need a little bit more promo work.
I think that people would cheer Sasha. I think the issue that they run into is the only two people. It's only a few. It's only like maybe one or two people in the whole company that if Sasha Banks beats down and disses on the mic, that they would actually boo her. I think that they would, if she came out there and jumped Lacey Evans or Alexa Bliss or
no. See, jumping them people by themselves, yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's why I threw in Becky Lynch in that scenario, because it wouldn't just be a Lacey Evans Sasha Banks confrontation out of the blue. It's going to be Lacey Evans protecting Becky Lynch, who hopefully they still love. And you kind of get that rub. Because think about it. Back in the day, face and heel turns, typically, if you had a heel that was becoming a face, what would they do? They would have them come out and help the big-time babyface. It was kind of like the only way they were able to turn Stone Cold Steve Austin into a heel was to have him side with Vince McMahon.
Well, to be honest, I really wish that... I don't know what it was about Naomi. She seems like a really good worker.
DUI.
Well, her husband.
And her.
That was one time. But
it don't matter. I mean, when you sitting there and you're doing contract negotiations and WWE doesn't want them to go to AEW, of course, and then you go out and get a DUI and your brother gets a DUI and your brother-in-law gets a DUI, it's not a good look. In theory, the Usos, they screwed themselves, and they screwed Naomi.
Yeah, well,
but that's neither here nor there.
I as a character and as her skill set goes, I feel like she should be a bigger star and a person I would like to see feud with Sasha Banks. But the issue is, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the writing. I don't know if she just doesn't deliver. But I just can't remember a big time promo or a big time match that proves that she would be good in that spot.
There hasn't been one. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is, unfortunately, is that she's not one of the chosen.
Becky Lynch wasn't one of the chosen.
Becky Lynch was one of the chosen. Granted, when she was, think about it, when she was brought up with Charlotte and Sasha Banks. She was with the Four Horsewomen. And you see, when the WWE promotes the Women's Revolution, what do they talk about? They talk about the Four Horsewomen of NXT. Naomi isn't a part of that.
That's facts. I mean, Charlotte was the chosen one. Now, as far as Becky Lynch, yeah, she was in a spot. She was what Dean Ambrose was to the Shield. That's pretty much what she was. She was not like Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. She was like the third or fourth wheel compared to.
I mean, it happens.
Charlotte
I mean,
and, Sasha
think about
Banks.
it. Really and truly, you can say Becky Lynch was the Batista of Evolution.
I see her more as a Dean Ambrose of
the
Shield.
But the Shield was a 3-man group. I'm bringing you up a 4-man group.
Yeah.
And even with a 4-man group, guess what now? Every last one of them are still... Triple H and Randy Orton are already multi-time Hall of Famers. But they're easily headline Hall of Famers.
For sure. So, I don't know. We'll see what they want to do with Sasha. I'm excited. But I think her in AEW would have been even better, but we'll see.
I'm still not sold on AEW just yet. But you know what? Hey, that's all the time we got for today. Thanks for joining us on another edition of VGR Lockdown. Once again, like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Talk to you guys next time.